All right, we're at the gym again.
G'day.
Yeah, hey, what's up?
How much? You saw The Revenant,
I did.
and
It was really intense. That was
pretty full on.
from the moment that movie started. Shit was going down, just constantly. You're like, what the hell?
Yeah.
My heart was racing the whole point of it, for most of it.
Yeah, no, it's a great movie.
And that time of like back then, that would have sucked.
It's a brutal time to live.
Yeah, shit.
Yeah.
Just the amount of like just dying, and it was just like,
Yeah.
dead,
No respect for human life.
pretty much.
Pretty much like now.
Yeah, pretty
Not quite that, but no, it was pretty intense. So
Yeah,
yeah, go see The Revenant.
rugged terrain. I actually read that they actually had to stay out in that place. It wasn't green screened. They were out in the middle of the wilderness doing that film, which again, that would have been intense and like
Yeah.
shit.
No, it was good.
Good film. Go
I'm
see
going
it.
to go see The Hateful Eight, Quentin Tarantino.
Well, his movies are always awesome.
Yeah, that's his 8th film, I think. That's all he's done. 8 movies.
Is that it?
Yeah.
Wow, that's pretty good.
It's
Right?
either his 8th or 9th film, but yeah. Big cast, but that's another Western.
Yeah, I like those
Yeah.
films.
Yeah.
It's good.
So that'll be another bloodbath.
Yeah. Yeah, pretty much.
Anyway, so what are we going to talk about today?
Well, the first heading that we've written here is sponsorship.
Ah, sponsorship. Yes, people hitting up for sponsorship.
Can you tell me a really funny story of someone asking you for sponsorship? What was the greatest one you've had?
Yeah, well, I've had lots of people ask me for sponsorship, you could imagine. The best one is I was in the shop and a guy walked in, barely said hello, stripped down to his jocks, hit a few shots, and then demanded sponsorship. He didn't really ask for sponsorship, he demanded it. Never seen him before in my life, ever.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
So did you give him a sponsorship?
No. No.
Oh.
No. I actually told him to put his clothes on, to go outside, think about how to go about it, and then come back, and he didn't.
That's pretty funny.
Yeah. He
Was
didn't
he-
come back. Never saw him again in my life.
Was he like Facebook famous or something? Instagram
No,
famous?
this was before Facebook. So we're talking, this is a few years ago.
That's pretty good.
So, and he said in his little blurb that he was, going to compete and become Mr. Australia. Never seen him before again. Never at any of the comps, anything. So he disappeared off the face of the earth. So, yeah, that was interesting.
Yeah.
But I get people asking me for sponsorship all the time, and they don't really ask. They demand sponsorship, which I think is the wrong way to go about it. I believe you have to earn sponsorship. All of the Australian athletes that we sponsor, we've approached them. They haven't approached us, and I've approached them because I think they deserve a sponsorship.
Thanks.
Either with how they conduct themselves. It's not, as far as I'm concerned, got hardly anything to do with contest results and things like that.
Yep.
I think mainly about how you conduct yourself. Social media is a very important part of sponsorship is in this day and age, I think.
Yeah, this industry's growing a lot with that.
Yeah, but that can be not a good thing, and sometimes I still think a lot of companies sponsor people for the wrong reason, just because they got 5,000 followers or something. I like to sponsor people that I genuinely like, who have been in the industry either a long time or who conduct themselves really well in the industry.
Yep.
So I think if you're just a teenager or a junior,
And you actually shop at that place that you want to get sponsored.
yeah, well, that helps too.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you're going to ask a shop, to sponsor, well, it'd be a good idea that you shop there maybe for a little while, first.
Yeah. Or use the products of that.
That's
company.
right, yeah, and even if you want sponsorship of someone, before you've even got it, maybe just put a few posts up, I went to so-and-so shop, it was great service, thanks for this, and they'll see it in the end, and that'll give you brownie points as well. But I think a lot of it's got to do with being around for a while.
Do the time.
Do the time, just because you're a teenager and you won the teenage like Classic or whatever, that doesn't mean you deserve a sponsorship.
Yeah.
Far from it. Do your research on the company. Do your research on the people who work. If it's a shop, the people who work there. So at least you know something about it. If you're approaching a supplement company, well, do a research on that company. Know what their products are. because, and be prepared to answer a question, and the main one is that what can you do for us? You know, people come in and they just want free stuff, free travel, free all this, but in the end you got to put back as well.
Yeah.
You know, and be prepared to stick with them out. If someone gives you an offer for $5 more, don't just turn your back.
Or someone that's doing you good. Yeah.
That's right. You know, stick with the agreement, or then talk to them. You know, I think that's important.
Yep. Very important.
Do your research, really, on the company. I think that's the priority.
Yeah.
You know, don't come in demanding a sponsorship. Come in telling them what you can do to them and help them grow.
Exactly.
It's about a mutual business relationship, and be prepared to do a bit of work every now and then. You know, go to taste testings or stands, and you know, because that's what you have to do. If you're not prepared to do that, well, no company's going to sponsor you.
Yep.
Don't be a knob on social media.
Yeah.
Everyone can see what you're doing on social media. Filters down everywhere.
All right. So next.
All right, next. Well, our friends at Gentech, Nick Jones, has just come out. This just came in today. New Hydro Pro WPI. This is a whey protein. Yeah, today. So I haven't even tried this.
Oh.
Came in today. It's a WPI hydrolyzed whey protein isolate blend.
Okay.
It's 90% protein, virtually zero fat, zero carbs, very low. It's got colostrum added to it, which is going to help with gut health, digestion, increase in immunoglobulins as well. So that sort of sets it apart from other WPIs. Comes in vanilla, coconut and chocolate. Now,
Swiss vanilla.
Swiss vanilla.
Swiss vanilla.
Swiss vanilla. So I've got a vanilla here. About to put it into our shaker, and I am going to try this. So let's hope for Nick that this thing works.
Oh.
All right. So one scoop, 40-gram scoop, is going to give you
Nick's never let us down
about
before.
35 grams of protein. So it's a good serving size. A good amount of protein. Smells delicious.
I haven't seen Nick Jones in a long time.
No.
Has he come to Adelaide much still?
Not often.
Come down, Nick.
Come down, Nick. Yeah, come down and have a training session with us.
Yeah.
All right. So,
It's been like 2 years since I've seen him. Yeah. Mix good.
well, that mixed very well.
Might as well show. Just
No lumps. Mixed beautifully. Slight bit of froth on the top. And that's a very nice vanilla.
Swiss.
Swiss vanilla. Very nice. Nothing wrong with that whatsoever.
It smells good.
Smells delicious. Mixed beautifully. There's nothing in there.
And that's a pure WPI.
Pure isolate, hydrolyzed isolate blend. So that is in store now.
Now.
Yeah.
Now. As of today.
Yep.
Sweet.
Comes in two sizes. That's a 800, 900 gram and a 2.2 kilo.
Awesome. Price?
65.
65, yeah.
Yeah, 64.95 and 135 for the big one, which makes it very competitive with other. I think the colostrum will make it a point of difference from other whey proteins, but Nick likes his colostrum. He adds colostrum to a lot of his products, and you get the health benefits in immunoglobulins, good for gut health and digestion. So that's why Nick puts it in there.
Good job, Nick.
So yes,
Come back down.
definitely, I like it, and it shall be a staple of mine. Yeah, not yours.
Not mine.
Not yours.
Not mine. So good.
We can talk about the protein you use.
We'll talk about it next week.
Yeah.
Yep. Now, one last thing. The IMBA seminar to do with what do we call it again? Get ready?
IMBA Get Stage Ready.
That's the one.
So yeah, don't forget, that is now Sunday week.
Sunday week.
Just over a week ago.
Awesome.
Week to go. Anything to do with competing.
Anything.
Yep.
Any questions?
And it doesn't matter if you're not competing in this show. If you're planning on competing in the IMBA this year or in the future, you're more than welcome.
Yeah, even I think it's even good for any other federation just to learn.
Well, I think so, because
the
I mean, the
judging
rules are
criteria-
pretty well the same.
it's
The
the same.
posing's the same and everything about. So if you're thinking of competing, definitely pop down. So 1 p.m. here at Australian Muscle the Gym, Sunday the 31st of January. So Sunday week.
Yep.
We'll see you there.
Yeah, write down questions. I start writing them down now, so when you come to the
Yeah,
seminar, you've got a
definitely.
list of like, oh, so I'll go back over your.
Yeah, or you can even private messages on the IMBA South Australia Facebook page some questions. We'll write them down and we'll have the answers ready for you.
Yeah.
But you can always spring surprise questions on us.
And again, if you've got any normal questions, hit us up.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Oh wait, there was one other thing. You said that you've been listening to some podcasts.
Ah, podcasts. Yeah, I like podcasts. You know?
Yeah,
So I listen to.
driving
There's a
around.
few podcasts. Well, because I do a lot of driving, so I listen to one. There's Capital Tech Radio. Xavier Wills from Perth runs that. So that's a really good one.
Good bodybuilder.
Yeah, and they talk everything to do the pro scene, everything. So it's very entertaining. The one that I'm listening to today is Iron Maiden Radio. Now it's done by two women, Amy Fox and Rihanna Schmidt, two IFBB pros.
Good bodybuilders.
Yeah, so they give the female perspective, but that doesn't mean as guys you can't listen to, because it's
Yeah.
actually quite hilarious, because they put a female insight into a lot of things.
Yeah, you told me one of them before.
Yeah. Well, one of them, even today, they were talking about girls pooping with their partners, and how they turn the showers on so
They can't hear the.
Yeah. Did you know girls poop?
You're shitting me.
But it was hilarious. And then they talked the other day about like what's worse or better, a muffin top or a camel toe.
Well, that's
It was hilarious.
that's a tough
So
question.
they're all free. So you just go into iTunes and you download Iron Maiden Radio, Capital Bodybuilding Radio,
The ATP
Scott
science
Go,
ones.
ATP Science, ATP Project.
Yep.
That's another really good one. That's if you really want health news and how your body works. That's really good.
Yeah, they're good.
Yep.
Scott Goebel does one as well.
Scott Goebel and Luke Shembry do one, but I just can't remember because it's on that phone and I can't look it up.
It's not bench talks, is it?
No. They don't do one very often.
Okay.
It's only like once every 2 months or something. I'll get the name and we'll talk about it next week. But the Capital Radio Bodybuilding and the Iron Maiden is weekly. So every Tuesday night, new episode.
Sweet.
So I haven't even finished listening to today's episode, but it's already been hilarious. The only thing, and I'll be honest, the only thing I have against those two podcasts is that they're very IFBB orientated. They don't tend to talk about any other federation. I know Xavier talks a little bit more about NABA and everything, but I think if they and Rihanna and Amy are IFBB professionals, so I can understand why they do that. But it would be good if and I've told Xavier if he could expand his a little bit more. But he started to. He talks about IMBA a little bit, some of the IMBA champions, and a little bit on NABA, but still very IFBB. Speaking of that, they were Xavier interviewed Nathan Rowe in this week's episode.
Shit, he's huge.
Now, Nathan is 20 years old. Now, this guy, Nathan, his coach put up a picture of Nathan about 2 weeks ago on Facebook,
That was his
and it
sign
went
post?
viral. This guy is nearly contest ready. He's getting ready for the Arnold Classic. He's 20 years old
Yeah.
and just a freak.
He was a freak.
An absolute freak of nature, this kid, and he's still just a kid. It's a really good interview. He sounded very grounded.
Awesome.
Yeah, he sounded like a really, really good guy. So that was interesting. But yeah, keep an eye out for Nathan Rowe. I mean, when he was in IMBA, he was a freak.
He was a freak.
He dominated IMBA juniors
Yeah.
and AMB juniors. Right from teenage, his first competition, he said when he was 16. He's 20 now, and he's moved up into the IFBB ranks. And man, this guy, he's going to do some damage.
He's huge.
And just shape, condition, everything.
Yeah, damn.
So yeah, that's the podcast. So get onto those. There's lots of actual. If you actually do an iTunes bodybuilding podcast, there's heaps of them. There's lots in America.
Yeah.
Kai Green's got one, but everyone says that it's shit.
Oh.
You know, Kai Green's
Yeah.
like. Yeah.
It's kind of like, here's what I'm going to talk about, but we're going to get there doing this.
Yeah, yeah. I haven't actually listened to it because everyone says it's just, yeah, you got to have
Off topic.
a lot of patience and perseverance to listen to Kai Green
Fuck
talk. Anyway, that's it. We'll finish up on that.
Cool. Stay
So
humble.
thanks, everyone.
Stay humble, don't be knob.
We'll see you next week.